everybody, Mr. B here, and welcome to The Loft. Look, we all do it. We go to the grocery store, we load up on vegetables, we're gonna cook healthy, and by Monday, we have fallen into a deep dish pizza, right? Which means we have got all of these dollars tied up in vegetables that are sitting in our fridge and are gonna go bad. So when your vegetables are about to go off, as some people would say, or sprout legs and walk off, there are a couple of things that you can do. One is throw them in the garbage can. I would rather not do that, right? This stuff costs money, and every dollar I can save on food is a dollar I can put towards something else, travel, what have you, right? Another thing that you can do is roast them off. You chop them all up, put them in the oven, roast them. You're gonna get a few more days use out of them if you do that, right? Another option is a soup, right? Throw them all in the pot, add some sort of liquid, maybe some protein, whatever you wanna do, completely versatile. It's another option. The last thing that we can do is make some sort of casserole or some sort of bake with them. And I break that down into two. One is the casserole, like you have at Thanksgiving and all of that, but you're using these vegetables that are kind of on their way out of your life, okay? And the other is what I would refer to as an egg bake. Now, we'll do a few egg bakes in the future probably, but we're gonna focus on the casserole. So no, there's not exactly a recipe that is gonna be linked in the description and all of that sort of thing on this video, because it varies week to week. It depends on what you have in your refrigerator. It depends on what vegetables are in season. Maybe it's the asparagus that's about to go off. Today, it's my zucchinis have seen better days, okay? So it just depends. However, the basic technique is the same, and that's what we're gonna get into, so let's go. Okay, so first let's get into the vegetables, right? So casserole, in my eyes, has kind of two sort of elements to it. The first is gonna be whatever it is that's the main thing of the casserole. It's usually what the casserole is named, right? Broccoli casserole, potato casserole, vegetable casserole. And the other element is the goo. We're gonna get to what I refer to as the goo in just a minute. But let me just kind of lay out the landscape of what we're gonna be working with today. I have some ground turkey here that we're gonna cook off. You could go completely meatless with this. In fact, I do that quite frequently. But in this case, I have some turkey. I need to use it. That's what we're going to do. You can use beef, sausage, guys, you know the drill. I have some frozen broccoli that I'm gonna throw in here. We have some green onions. I have some red onions that have seen better days. I've got a little jalapeno over here I wanna get rid of. Some tomatoes we're gonna use to top it off, make it real pretty. I've got a bell pepper. I have some kale here. It looked really good, and I had the best intentions when I bought it. Now, if kale is not your thing, and I get it, I'm not gonna sue you for that, but you're wanting to get some greens, spinach is a great substitute. You can admit this if you want. You can admit all of it if you want. It doesn't really matter. For seasoning, in addition to your salt and pepper, I'm going to use some garlic powder, some Cajun seasoning. You know how I feel about red chili pepper flakes, and I said it right that time, and some onion powder. And as these things go, things will tend to jump into my hand to throw off in it and on it and all of that fun stuff. Casserole is not a casserole without cheese. Now, I've got 3 different kinds, simply because I have them. But you're going to want some form of cheese. The first is smoked Gouda, and I truly believe that the world needs more vehicles in which to get smoked Gouda into your body. And the second, very traditional, some pepper jack going here and some cheddar. And we're gonna mix all this up along with the goo, which I'll show you in a minute, and make that happen. So first, let's start getting everything kind of cooked off here. We're gonna start with our ground beef, with our ground turkey, and we're just gonna break it up. Let's hit that with a little salt and pepper in reverse order. Ground turkey's a little on the bland side, right? So you're gonna need to, do something about that to your taste. Okay, our turkey is kind of halfway where I want it to be, right? So this is when I'm gonna season the meat with garlic powder, some of that Cajun seasoning, really again, whatever you want. A little bit of onion powder, a little bit of heat. Get the chili flake. I'll give this a go. We've got color developed on our turkey here. It may not show up on the can too well, but trust me, it's there. I'm going in with onion and the jalapeno pepper. Now, and the jalapeno is going up in me. Looking good, looking good. Next in is going to be my broccoli, and I'm going in frozen. Now, it's going to bring the heat of the pan down, sure. So we're going to get that in. And I'm going to cover it to let that broccoli steam for just a couple of minutes. Okay, this is looking good. Broccoli is steaming on down here. In is now going to go the bell pepper and the zucchini. And we are going to take the opportunity to do another round of seasoning. The zucchini need it. I am not going to put the chili flake on this layer here because I think I can smell the jalapeno. We got enough heat. I let it go covered for just a few minutes. I let the zucchini steam down. I like my vegetables to still have some integrity, and remember that these things are going to have to bake off as well. So you don't want to bring it down to this complete and total mush at this point. Last in goes our kale. Look how green. It just looks healthy. Now, of course, we're going to ruin it with the goo, which we're going to move on to here in just a second. All right, kids, I'm going to call that done. Heat off, lid on, and we're just going to set this off to the side and go make our goo. Now let's talk about the goo, if you will, for this casserole. And it's pretty standard. You can use this for 10,000 different casseroles if you want to. First of all, you're going to need a cream of something. And I've heard some pretty damn good things about the cream of mushroom with the roasted garlic. And I think it is going to really set nice with the smoked Gouda, which I'm also going to add to this. I've got 2 cans of this cream of. Here, we're going to start with one and see how it goes. Trying to get your goo to the casserole filling sometimes can be kind of a trick. Sour cream, don't have any, so I'm using some plain Greek yogurt. It's a great substitute for sour cream. And you can remove some of the fat. A little bit of mayonnaise never killed anybody, especially if you're from the South. And then I'm going to put a couple of eggs up in it. We're going to whisk it together, so let's get started with get that in there. Get all of it out like it owes you money. Next step's going to be the sour cream or Greek yogurt. And next I'm going to do a dollop of some mayonnaise now, obviously. You're going, but what's the recipe? What's the measurements? You just got to deal with it, right? But you just, mix some stuff together and don't stress about it too damn much. I'm going to crack my eggs. Not going to worry about really blending them, but you could. Eggs is going to help kind of bind everything together. I am making the executive decision here to add the other can of soup. Pinch of salt. Pinch of cracked black pepper in there. Mixy, mixy. And then let's put this cheese on in. I'm going to probably reserve about that much for the top along with the jack and the cheddar. And we're going to fold in the cheese, David. Preheating my oven to 375 degrees, and we are going to mix this all together. Now, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add all my goo or maybe not all of it, but a good portion of the goo into the casserole veggie mixture, and we're going to incorporate that together. Excellent. Now we're going to pour this into our greased 13 by 9. And spread her around. Next up, we are going to add our jalapeno, jack, and cheddar cheese. And the rest of that delicious smoked Gouda. Gonna take some of these tomatoes here. Adds a nice color. Good pop of freshy fresh. And we're going to chop it with some fresh green onions. Different kind of pop of color going there. I think casseroles need some sort of crust on them. You can do breadcrumbs. I'm gonna do some of these fried onions up on top of here, like we do for our green bean casseroles. Saw these at the store yesterday because Thanksgiving's coming. You know, they kind of jumped out at me. A little crunchy crunch ain't gonna hurt nobody. All right, guys, into a 375-degree oven, bake till bubbly. Okay, we've been going about 30 minutes now, and this daddy is beautiful. There you have it. Now, with any casserole, you're gonna want to let this kind of chill and relax for about 10 to 15 minutes. All right, let's give this a taste, kids, and see how we did on this veggie casserole situation. Holy shit, that's good. That is really good. So first of all, I probably shouldn't have told y'all about the smoked Gouda. Should probably have kept that to myself. And the way that mixes with the cream of mushroom soup with the roasted garlic. Unbelievable. Crunch from the fried onion. The meat pops through. Cheesy, gooey, delicious, guys. Anyway, there you have it. Clean out your pantry, clean out your refrigerator, veggie casserole. You know, save those dollars. Be creative. Find something to do with them. Doesn't get any easier than this. Anyway, subscribe, click like, come along for the ride. We're gonna see you next time, kids. Cheers. Absolute home run.